What's going on, people? Welcome to another episode of ROP, Run of Play podcast, where we're discussing our takes on what's happened this week on football. We'll be discussing the Euros final and all of the interesting gist that have happened in the world of football. I'm your guy, Toves. And as always, we've got the man that gave the best name to Route 1 football, known as Long the Ball. Please welcome Jude.
Along the ball.
How you doing, Jude?
I'm doing good. Glad to be here today. Always long the ball.
Yeah. As always, that's
Exactly.
England's formation as well. And we also got the man that like to discuss with all his folks on any topic, the jersey collector, Mr. Johnny
I'm so
Boy. How
happy
you
to be
doing,
here.
Johnny Boy?
Unfortunately, one of us is not here. He ran away, I guess. But I'm going to get him. Happy to be here to discuss my boys winning.
Yeah, exactly. And for those who don't know, he's talking about the moderator and the Arsenal instigator, Mr. Sheldon T. Maybe we'll get him in the next episode. But yeah, you've already segued into the initial conversation. This week we had the Euros final between England and Spain. I'm sure that you're happy that Spain won. You know, me and Jude doubted Spain, but we'll get into that. But let's give you the floor to to
I
revel in
mean, I
your
wouldn't even
victory.
call it rebel. I mean, I knew from the start that we're going to do so well. The truth about it, everybody, if you're being honest, this Euros was like the best team won. That's what I was telling somebody today. Like, the best team actually won the Euros. Like, if England had won it, it would have been bad because anti-football would have won because England were lucky. Like I can count like 3 games England played garbage and they survived. Like Slovakia, they didn't play well. Holland,
What do you mean
yeah, like
anti-football? You say
they don't. England
anti-football
doesn't.
will
What
have
does
won.
What England does is that they try to score you. Like they sit back, try to score you, and then defend. That's what they were doing throughout this tournament. They did it also in the final. Spain first half. You understand first half. Everybody is the final, right? So it's gonna be cagey. Nobody wants to let loose of the pedal. But second half, you could see right from the onset, Spain started so well and they scored immediately. And immediately they scored, Spain started playing. Then England had to come out because they had to equalize. So you see, immediately he made subs. He removed Kane. He brought in Palmer. He brought in who did he made 2 subs. He brought in Palmer and one other. Yeah, so he brought
He
in
brought in
Palmer
Watkins. He
there, and
later brought
immediately you
in
did that.
Ivan
See the game
Toney as
immediately
well.
changed. England started pressing up and they equalized. Immediately they equalized, you would think, okay, now let's go for it. But what did they do? They went back to normal. They sat back, and what happened? Spain scored and we won the game, which is, I mean, we've been the best team. We played 7-1-7.
I don't think they. I don't actually think they
They
sat
did
back.
what
I think they
they
came
did.
out
The only
and
time,
they
no,
lost
they sat
formation.
back because
Right?
the only
That goal
opportunity
was
England
like
had
almost
after
like a
that
counter,
time
though.
was the one they cleared up the line, which was after Spain scored the second goal. So it was them actually trying to equalize.
Spain was possessive. Now
Yeah,
you can't blame
but
them.
I'm saying
Spain was
immediately
possessive too,
England
right?
equalized that goal, you would think, okay, now the ascendancy moves to England. Once you score, the ascendancy moves to you. England at that point in time were the ascendancy because they just scored. So you expect them to, okay, now let's go for the kill.
They're playing a best
Obviously,
team,
but we
so
kept on
that's
hearing
where the
that England
problem
had
is. Like
better players and stuff like that.
it's the
Yes, but I
same
don't
thing that
think.
had happened to France. France scored, and the game changed from that
Yeah,
onset.
because to me, I always
You
kept on saying
understand?
it that
Like
France. I don't know
Yeah,
why
that's
France
true.
started playing like England. I don't know who chose that, but they play similar type of football. Their football is to they defend. They are very good in defending, and they try to score you. Once they score you, now they just give you can have the ball, and we're trying to play hit you on the counter. That's what France also did. But unfortunately for both of them, they made a better team, which is Spain. So that didn't work. That's what the truth.
Yes, I would agree that Spain. I would agree that Spain was the better team, but at the same time, England did not play so bad in the final. Yes, they sat back at some point, but the time that you guys scored, that Spain scored, was when England was going for the second goal. That is,
yeah, but
they
that's what
Not
I'm
opened up
really,
trying to
no,
say.
defensively, and that's how
not really, not
Spain
No,
really.
got in.
that's
It's not
that's
like
what
it's not like they
happened.
sat
They were
back
Not
going
really.
for
No,
for the most of the game. That's what
remember
happened.
Walker.
They were going for the
you
goal. That's
guys
why they brought
forgot
all
that
those
The
attackers.
attackers
it
Yes.
came
was
back.
even we used 3 guys to score and they're like 5. If you watch the video, there's a video. We used like 3 of our guys. It was about
Because
almost. It
that's
was
how they
almost
sit,
passed.
right? But the line
No, no,
was
no,
higher.
almost passed.
The line was higher. They
Yes,
they
the
had
line
to
was
draw
higher
back.
than
Yeah,
the
but let me
usual
finish.
Gareth
England start
Southgate thing.
players
Remember,
back.
Kai Walker was not in his
Yeah,
position
but
when you scored.
England in that final, Shaw started going forward. Like Shaw, that second half, Shaw started going forward. So it was more like 3. The 3 at the back was Stones, Gay, and Walker. And if you forget, almost pass was what split the whole defense. England had 5 players back, but what happens is that almost past took out 2 guys. So it became 3 on 2, rather 2 on 3. So he gave Yotoba. Yotoba gave, and remember where Kukurela came from. Kukurela was not even near the ball. He ran.
Mhm.
He had to run from like the left wing to get the ball.
Because that's your formation when you are attacking, right? Kukurela runs up immediately. There's how you build up the game. There's somebody sitting back for Kukurela to do that run. You understand? So that's what happened. This
Yes.
guy was already shifted in. Kukurela has to support him on that wing, just because if the William guy,
Nico was not even
Nico,
there. Nico was far
misses
back.
something, there's
Nico.
already Kukurela to start tracking back. You understand? Nico was still even behind for Kukurela to come forward. It
Yeah,
wasn't that
I
much.
liked
Because
what
I
they did.
remember the
I
thing
liked
is,
what Spain
it's
did.
just like the goal that Salah scored against Man City, right? Where João Cancelo made that error. They were already up.
Mhm.
So England was already up a bit. So they were not coming back. They were trying to come back,
But they
but they
already
still had
they
that
had.
they
To
are
my point, I'm
two
trying to say that they had
defend
enough
two
people
Exactly.
to like
midfielders.
deal with
They have
deal with
enough
the
players, but the
situation.
thing is, people that have mastered the game,
But they're already
they're
out
already
of
out of
they're already out
position.
of position, and so it's difficult
But
to
it's not that
recover.
easy.
Yeah.
Kyle Walker has covered for somebody. Before that person could return back and Kyle Walker going back, the ball had already gone that side.
The
So it
unsung
wasn't
hero of
that
the Euros
easy.
is Daniel.
Right. And Jude, do you agree with? I know
I
you've
said
been
I
hating a
said
lot
the plane
on
was
Spain so
waiting.
far,
Wait of
even
you.
me too, to be
And the
fair.
plane was
But do
rolling.
you agree with Johnny-Boy that the best team won, or are you disappointed in England and the way they
I
played?
think VAR helped them. That's all I was saying.
Seriously, are we
I
going
think
there?
the Germany versus Spain,
No, no,
the
bro.
penalty that they didn't give.
Even I like I told you guys, there's a rule. It's literally there. The rule states that if your hands are coming to your side or by your side, it cannot be a penalty. And if you watch the video
You
well,
you were
you
you
can
were
clearly
you
see.
were you were you
You
were
can
lu-
clearly see
you
that
were lucky in
Cucurella
that
hands
match.
were already.
You were
How?
lucky in that match.
We play
I
better
think
than Germany now,
you
bro.
were
What are you
you
talking
were
about?
lucky in that match because the Germans, you were the better team at
No. Throughout the whole
80th
game.
minutes or
Remember that was the game I
70th
was mad
minute.
with the coach, with the German, with the Spanish coach. That
Remember they scored, and then
why does he
from
like JB
extra time
like
the game
England?
was
He will
balanced.
score. All of a sudden, that was the game I was talking about. He took out our. You see, he learned. He learned. What did he do? He didn't do that against France. He didn't do that against England. Usually, what he does, he will score and then he will take out. That was the game I told you that he took out everybody. He took out Monata. He took out Williams. Took out Yamal. You can't do that because those are your outlets.
He took out Lama in this thing now. He took out Lama in
Yeah, but
final
he
too.
left Williams now. He left
But it was
Williams.
late. It was
That's what
like
I'm
80
saying. He
something
left
at the same
Williams.
time.
That's what I'm saying. So that was
Yeah,
the
he didn't
Germany
take
game.
the two of
That's
them
what I'm saying.
out.
It's the
Yeah.
Germany game. He made
But
that and he learned. That's why I
I
like him.
felt
He learned from his mistake.
Southgate, like,
He learned
I feel like is what I would always say is like you are playing a better team, a possessive team, right? And it's a one game. It's just
exactly. It's
one
like a final.
decisive game. Something is not working. Don't wait till
It's a reactive coach.
80th
Southgate is a
minute
reactive
or
coach.
70th. Don't wait for them to score you and then come back. They were still
He's
pressing.
still
It's the same thing
reactive.
that happened to
Yes.
France. They were pressing that wing. You could see that Kyle Walker was trying to cover up year and year. And I think after he got that knock in first half, it was very hard. All you could have
Williams
just
was
done
dealing with
was
him a lot.
position one
Exactly.
midfielder to go towards that side for
Like
him.
the way
You
if
understand?
you
And
watch
block that side.
if you
Or
watch
at least bring on Trippier or something
Rico Williams was helping out
by
Cucurella against
halftime.
Saka. That's what I like in that final. He really tracked, he helped Cucurella like he was always. It was like anytime Saka gets the ball,
He was
Rico
coming
Williams was
back. Yeah,
tracked back
he
to
was
help
tracking
Cucurella.
back.
Yes.
And I expected Saka to do the same, but Saka didn't do, which I don't know why. And my own problem with him is like they needed new legs. They really
You know, I
needed new
was saying this
legs
right
to
from.
push
I
the
Yes.
think it
attack.
was the first game
I
I
feel
said it.
like see when they made those subs, the subs changed the whole game. Like they pushed the ball to be different. I felt like, okay, why didn't you even play? What's his name?
Yeah,
Gordon.
that was what I was trying to bring up.
Gordon would
Remember
have
from day one,
pushed
I've been
that
saying it.
left to
Anthony
like even
Gordon.
if there was nothing productive, I know
Yeah.
Gordon would try to move forward. And
Yes. Or
it
even
started
Jared
looking like
Bowen as well, who was on the bench. He
making
had
that English team
I
look
said
like
it from the
they
onset
really
that I
needed a
wouldn't
Jack
play
Grealish.
Foden and Bellingham to start in my game.
Like they
Never.
needed somebody
It's
on that
obvious they don't
left
work
wing.
well together.
That
It's
left wing
obvious.
was just
Like if a
doing
blind man can see,
like nothing is happening in that
yeah,
left wing.
I wouldn't play Birmingham and Foden in my starting level. I said it from the once I watched that first game against Serbia. I said I wouldn't play two of them. I would rather play a natural wing on the left
hmm.
and then Bellingham to be
On the left.
my strike.
Somebody should
Yeah,
be
that's
coming
what I
in for the
said.
other
But
person.
unfortunately, your coach wanted to persist with that,
Yes.
and To me,
He has to go with
Foden was
I don't think it's
Foden
Jude's
was
coach. I don't
amazing
think
those
Jude.
the whole
I don't
tournament.
think Jude was
I don't think there's
supporting
a
very
game
England.
good
Foden
coach.
actually stood out and say, okay, you can count us. This game Foden actually played well. I can't.
No, that's the problem. Like the
No, no. In
problem
the
is like
in the semis, Jude Foden played well in the first
Holland,
half.
yeah.
Who did they play against in the semis?
it's
Netherlands.
Okay,
At least the first half,
45
we
minutes,
can
that's
say
about
Foden
maybe
had
the
a
the
good.
problem is that
Yeah, he had a good half.
did he really play a good game? That this is the question I ask. What?
No, I said he had a good
No,
half.
that's
I
what
don't know
he
about
took
the
half.
full
He
90
took half.
minutes. He didn't have
So
the full
this is
90
my
minutes.
question, right?
Yes.
Spain is playing the ball. They are best at it, and we are trying to keep up,
Hmm.
and we are doing good at keeping up. We are not playing our game. We are keeping up.
But
Do
one
you
thing we
understand what I'm
should
trying to
remember
say?
is that Spain,
So
one thing
Yeah.
this coach, I give it to him is that
Foden is just
mm,
there.
once I give this coach, if you notice, Spain doesn't do the, and Obi brought it up. He said Spain doesn't do their tippy tappy again. If you notice, we're not too much of tip tap. If
No,
it's before, Spain will pass like 700
if
passes, like but now it's more like
the thing
make
is,
good use
they
of
are playing to the strength
yes,
of the guys you
and
have.
make good use of your
Move the ball
They are
quality
quicker.
playing to the
wingers.
strength of the guys you have. The guys you have are not those wingers, and those two guys, Nico and this guy, are not players that do
Yeah,
tiki
Yamal.
taka. Even those guys in the middle, the guys in the middle like Ozba and what's the other
you
guy's
mean
name?
Rios and Rodri?
There's Ruiz.
Fabian
Ruiz.
Ruiz.
They are not tiki taka kind of players.
No,
So
this coach, I
they
applaud him
try
for
to
that
blend,
because I
but they
was
are
so bored
more.
of
Yeah.
that shit.
Ruiz in PSG was like get the ball, pass it,
Yeah,
let's move forward. Like that kind of
I
fast
give him
pass,
credit for
drop
that
back, help.
because
They are not sitting guys that want to play you
Enrique
and
messed up
make you
World Cup
relax
big
and
time
then no.
because against Morocco we're just
It
passing
may
zone,
be
just
Rodri.
nothing.
Rodri, you can say
Right.
Rodri is that kind
Fair.
of player. But he's a good.
Fair enough. So just a quick one because I'm aware that one of us has an engagement today as well. Just a quick one. Who do you guys think is the
Nico
player
Williams,
of the
that's
match first
like
of the final?
was Nico
In
Williams
your
hands
own
down.
opinion, for me, okay, fair enough. You got Nico Williams. He played well. For me, I would say Zubimendi because when
He
he came on at
tried, but
halftime, he just ran
I
the
give
show. Like he didn't
Nico
miss
because
Rodri
He
anymore.
tried, but
Nico
Yeah,
not
I think he
only
played really
attack but
well.
also
but
defended. We
but
agreed
I would say Nico.
because
Nico did. Nico was
I can
also
count how many times
defending,
Nico tracked back, especially against Saka.
and
He really like
Zubi entered and there was a goal. So yeah, I can't
no,
say
but
he
I
really.
understand, but like
It's a mid. It was an outside box goal. It wasn't like it was inside that you blame a defender. There was supposed to be a midfielder. If Rodri was there, there'll probably
and I
not be
remember
that goal.
in the group chat somebody was happy that
You
Rodri was
understand?
going out. Okay, you didn't know that
So,
we had other plans.
uh, but in terms of play and all those things, he really tried commanding that midfield. Like when he entered, I was like, "Who is this guy? Like, how will he be able to cope?"
Yeah,
This
yeah.
thing, but
It's just crazy. I think he rose up to the occasion as well. That's why I'm giving a player of the match. Nico has been doing the same thing like throughout the tournament. Because if you ask me, player of the
I
tournament
was surprised.
now,
I was surprised
I will
Rodri
go
won it. I
Nico
was
Williams. I know
surprised
he
when
didn't get it in the end, like from then, but
I think it's
it's
just because of
probably
name.
press now. PR, it's
no,
PR.
Yeah,
Rodri
Rodri
is
won, but I
weak.
would have
Close
given
second for me.
Nico Williams.
Rodri is also there, right? Rodri
No,
actually did a good job. It's just that
he did.
we don't
He did
see it.
because remember the
We don't
block.
see it
Remember
because he's a midfielder. You probably be seeing the
we
people
were
that are
talking on the phone.
front.
Remember on the final, the block that Hurricane had, it
Yeah.
was Rodri that blocked it. Probably that's what injured himself.
Because that Palmer shot was just like there's supposed to be somebody there, and there
No,
was
but
nobody.
It was a deflection.
Yes.
It was a deflection though. You saw
Yeah,
it
if
now.
Rodri was
He hit
there, Rodri would have
Zubamendi
done something.
on his
I
leg.
know.
So
Yeah,
So
deflection was
the
not
other
anything. If
one,
Rodri was there, he would have
guy
Rodri was a
accepted.
beast. I give
would
it
have
to him. He
stopped
was a
it.
beast.
Before we talk about one of the elephants in the room, Gareth Southgate, just want to reflect as well in terms of the performance of the referees, because I've seen that a lot of fan channels don't talk about referees that much apart from complaining. But in terms of the Euros in total, how do you think the
I mean, to
referees
me,
performed?
all the matches I watched, I don't think the referees were bad. The only game, which I think is just my problem I have with VR, is the England
England,
against Holland, because there's no way on earth that was a
England.
penalty. But because as far as I'm concerned, two guys are going for the ball, right? You kick and you missed it, and then I hit your leg. That should be a penalty. Even the referee knew it wasn't a penalty. But
Mhm.
the moment he went to the pitch, I knew. Because once they sent, I've never seen a situation whether you guys can put me wrong, whereby they send him to monitor and the referee sticks to his decision. I've never seen it happen since very Premiership. Who?
No, Michael Oliver does that a lot in the EPL, but yeah, because Oliver is quite stubborn. Michael Oliver. as a referee. He's too stubborn. He believes his own judgment. I can't remember the game exactly,
Maybe
but he
maybe
went to the
maybe
monitor and
maybe
he
it was,
stuck to
maybe it was
his
pure
own decision.
maybe it
But
was
yeah,
purely
but more
obvious
often
he
than
didn't
not,
give that
you're
to.
right.
But most times, once you send the referee to the monitor, just so that the reverse decision that was given on the field is going to be the reverse. So I just knew that I was going to give a penalty because it was weird. Like, how do you give that as a penalty? But then the luck went out. So but apart from that, every other match, I don't think there was no game the referee was the center of attention. That's one thing I. That's why I say they did so well because there was no game I actually read and they say, oh, the referee made a mistake here. No, there was no. I don't know whether you guys could tell me, but I can't remember any game. So even the final, the referee was fair.
No.
Even though there are some fouls that they giving England that were not necessary, but it
Yeah.
was fair to an extent.
Yeah, I also agree with you as well. To be fair, when I saw a German ref in a game that England was playing, it's like asking a Sierra Leonean
The
or a
ref Nigeria.
Ghanaian to ref a game when no Sierra Leonean, yeah, to ref a game when there's Nigeria. You know, there will be a little bit of a criticism, just a little bit. So yeah, I knew like yeah, once they said go to the VAR, I knew that
I
yeah,
think over.
the England is going to get it. But overall, I thought the referees did well, apart from the English, because the only controversial things were involved.
English
Yeah,
Like
ref.
it
and
was
the
the
funny part
English
about that
referees that were
Holland game was
involved.
that
That's
he
Anthony
the
didn't
only
give
thing
Taylor
I
even
don't.
fouls
and
were
Mike
meant for
Loliver.
Holland. He didn't give it. That was weird. Like
Yeah,
I remember there was a corner kick they were supposed to have that Van Dijk was so mad that he got a yellow card. There was an incident. Like there were clear fouls. The
yeah,
referee didn't blow for Holland. I was like, what are you doing? Like it was so obvious.
Yeah.
It seems they wanted England
Um,
and Spain because that's more attention, right?
mm,
The referee made sure.
yeah.
That's the only game I remember.
Fair enough. And Jude, what do you think about Southgate? Are you happy that he's left finally? Maybe they're going to get a new manager. What? No, first of all,
They
what do you
employed
think
Jude to
about
come and coach them.
the situation,
I think it
Southgate?
was. I've always been a fan of him. No, he's okay.
His
It's
name is
just
Why
like
didn't
you
you take?
saying,
Why don't you want him in mind then?
let's put it this way. Putting no, I didn't
Yeah,
even
that's
want
what
him
I'm saying.
in
You see,
mind.
a fan
I
now. He's
never wanted
a
him in
fan
mind.
wants him to be coaching.
The day I saw him being linked to Maya, I was like, never.
You're not a fan now.
Because Southgate coming to Maya is like probably will be around, will be that period of Arsenal with Wenger, not the invisible seasons, but
The
the serious
The
seasons
Emirates
where we
era.
are struggling for top four. Like the Emirates era, we are going to either fall in between third and fourth. Let's just forget about trophies or anything. That's where we'll be landing.
Well, why is Arsenal involved in
No,
this
I'm
right
just
now?
saying like how I
This Southgate.
reason Southgate.
Yeah,
It's just
yes,
like you
yes, yes.
having
Okay, don't
Brendan
worry.
Rodgers managing Liverpool and then Klopp coming and you see the difference, right? Same set of players, but
Mm,
different fight and different things. So I feel like he's not that. Although he's changed the dynamics of the team, like he made them to be more friendly to each other,
That's the
forget
only thing to
your
make Southgate good.
enmity in
That's the
your
only thing.
club side and stuff, which is good. But at the same time, he's not somebody that looks like he motivates the
He's not
player, like
tactically sound. He's
gingers
not
the
a tactic.
player.
He's not tactically sound.
He's not that kind. He can have the tactics, but he's not going to come and tell you, like, build that morale momentum. Even when they were losing, you won't see any sign of him inspiring them or
He has
trying
a
to
little bit
charge
of
them up or
Ateta in
anything.
him to me.
No.
It's
Like,
like for like subs.
one. So
Kane for
two,
Watkins. That's
also
like for
feel
like.
like he's a coach that cannot like wake up big players. And
mm,
England is always gonna be a team with big players. They have to pick the stars of the league, right? So you need is
mm.
for a manager like him to succeed, which was what I expected him in this tournament to do. Have a right mix. I said it from the onset. Have a right mix of those players. Have those players. I saw the squad. It was nice. He picked some
Brilliant
guys that
squad,
were
man.
not like
Even have one of
A-list
the best
stars,
squads.
but when you get on the pitch, he was still playing the same people that he can't inspire or
Yeah,
ginger. So in that case, all you need is mix it up. Bring in Palmer, bring in see Meno now. Somebody like Meno came in and changed the game, right? If they had not started playing Meno, they would probably be like a mediocre team at some point. But these are guys trying to
true.
fight for their name. You understand? Put them in. They will fight
Mm,
for you. You talk to them. They listen to you. But the big guys feel like, oh, I already know what I want to play. So when the game goes tough, they forget about manager and start doing their own
I
stuff.
haven't heard
You
he had a
understand?
bust up
So
with
me, I
Bellingham in
felt
the front.
he has
I
to
didn't
have
even
that
notice
right
that.
mix of those players. Put in those guys. If those young guys, those small guys, or those young guys, those B-list stars are playing for him, The A list will want to make, you understand? Imagine uh, Oli Watkins coming in to score. Kane will wake up. You understand? He will want to do more. You understand? It will
Yeah.
ginger him. But then when Kane is
Hmm.
trying to wake up and he sees maybe Foden not balling, Saka is probably struggling.
Yeah, but on the other hand, you can say Kane is the highest goal scorer for England,
Yeah.
all time goal scorer for England. So why would the
No,
coach
I'm
want
not
to
saying
bench that
bench
person? It's
him.
like the
And
same way
no, that's what I'm saying.
The Portuguese coach didn't
I'm not
want to
saying
bench
bench him,
Southgate is
but
Ronaldo.
just a
it's
very
just
big.
like
My
what
problem with
Ibere
Southgate that
said.
he was too
That
rigid
Foden and Jude should not be
at
playing
all,
together.
at all.
You understand? If he had played Gordon,
Okay.
Gordon would have probably changed the dynamics of the game. Now you see more of the attacking Foden. You understand? Or you see more of the attacking Jude.
Mm.
Or you see more of Kane running in because he knows that Gordon can send one cross or something. Like those kind of things will motivate you to
Yeah.
want to play. But then when you know that these guys
Mm.
know, we don't need the game today, we'll just pass back, you probably not be too gingered. Like the spirit of the team is designed. So that coach, you either have a big coach managing a big stars, or you
Yeah.
have that average coach mixing it up so that those players that play for him wake up the big stars. That's what I felt like. So he took almost how many years, and his
Okay.
achievement was final. So he tried, but it's not true.
Right. And and Johnny-Boy, can you like see the other side of the argument where people can say that relatively is the most successful manager apart from
I mean, that
the
doesn't
obviously
count.
the
That one
coach of
doesn't count. I beg.
1966 because
My
he's the one
father
that's
was
taken
not
them
born. I
to
was not
like
born. It doesn't count.
semi-finals and two finals. No, oh, okay,
So
you don't see the argument. All right, so you're one of
my
those people
own is
that
that he,
says
yeah,
trophy or
you can
nothing.
argue that that's the point they always bring. He's the most successful English coach since the 1966 coach, the one they bought, but that's fine. But my problem with Southgate was that Southgate, to me, I see a little bit of Arteta in him, in that his own is plan A, plan A, plan A. There's once plan A goes to shit, there's
No
no
plan
plan
B.
B.
Please, I don't. You
No, no, no,
guys
no, no. I'm not insulting. I'm not
beginning to insult Arsenal
Arteta.
too much in this episode. I'm not liking that.
Arteta
Arteta
only
does
has
not
plan
just
A,
have
and
plan A.
and if you look at it,
He doesn't just have plan A. Please,
he substitutes.
he does not
He
only have
has
plan
plan
A.
B. Plan B is bringing Trossard.
That's plan A now. What are you talking about?
Look,
That's
you
not
don't
plan
watch
A.
Arsenal.
And
You don't watch
he
Arsenal
subs
enough.
always like for like. That's my
That's the
problem
plan
with.
A.
That's not plan A. You don't see the in-game management and the tactics and the flow. But anyways, we'll
And
talk
he
about that when
subs
the
are
season
always
starts. Leave
like for
Arsenal and
like.
Arteta
Like for
alone, please.
instance,
Thank
he
you.
took out King, brought in Watkins. He took out Foden, brought in Palmer. Those are like for like subs. Like you're supposed to mix in if you're trying like for instance now the other like against there was a game they were losing in Slovakia. That was the only game he kind of threw in all his attackers and because his hands were even forced. That's why he did that because we're losing. But aside of that, his subs are always like for like in extra time
Yeah, but
now.
at least they won the game.
His subs are always like for like oh take Kane or bring Watkins. There's this like there's never like okay you know what
But
no okay
most coaches, their subs
Spencer
are
were not
like for
like for
like.
like.
I don't know if that's a valid argument.
He,
You have a game plan. You have a game plan. You bring in the players that are going to execute the
Morata is a
game plan.
striker. Taba is not a striker. Taba is like an attacking midfielder that can strike.
But what about the yeah? There might
Yeah,
be two
but
different
what I'm
players,
saying
but their
that
role in the team is still
Palmer and
similar.
Foden are like for like. Like
So
they're
it's
like
like
for
for
like.
like.
Basically, that's like Watkins and Kane. They're like for like. They're like for like.
Well, I don't think Palmer and Foden are like for like. That's my
Watkins
own
and Kane. They're
perception, but
like for like.
you
That's
know,
a striker for a striker. But he never like from the first game. I said it that this Foden and Bellingham, the same way we talked about Trent in midfield, is not a recipe for success. We saw it from the first. They struggled. If Serbia was a good team, the problem with Serbia is that they are so good in qualifiers, but when it comes to tournament, they're shit. If Serbia
yeah,
were to be a good team, they would have at least drawn that game with England
fair
because
enough.
Foden was anonymous. Bellingham, apart from the goal he scored, he was anonymous.
Right.
Trent was anonymous.
I really can't
So the first I
even
expect them
think.
to do is that okay, you know what? I'll decide that Foden or Bellingham, one of them has to sit. One of them, and I'll probably sit Foden because I mean Bellingham is
Mm,
like the poster boy, so I can stand why you put him. And then I'll
okay.
play Bellingham and Rice, and then play Gordon. I wanted Gordon because Gordon is you need the same way you have Saka on the right that is going to take player. You need somebody left that's going to do that, which is Gordon, and Gordon has space. That's what helps Spain. You have
But Gordon is not
I
efficient.
understand, but the
Not
same thing. You see
efficient.
how
He
to
loses
take
the
risks,
ball a
but you have
lot.
to take.
But he
Nico
has the
Williams and Lamine
ginger, the
Yamal, they lose the
pace
ball as
to
well.
create
Yeah,
that.
how many times did Lamine Yamal lose the ball? In that final alone, I can't count how many times he lost the ball. But that's it.
Yeah,
But
again,
then
the different it's just different styles of football.
they don't
England
play the
value
rap.
efficiency. They don't want people to losing the ball. Keep the
But
ball as much as you
you
can.
never
Then
can tell, right? If you probably put him in over games, he might change, right? And there's also Jared
Exactly. There's
Bowen
Bowen.
that
There's
can
even
play that
Eze.
left
There's
wing too,
Eze. There's
right?
Eze as
So,
well.
and
yeah,
it's also
exactly.
it
I
can
thought we would
also
have played
turn
Boy as
to
well.
a way you can play one of them can always be
There are
second
people that are
striker with
naturally
Harry
used to
Kane
the
when you're
playing on the wing.
attacking.
Like for instance, Bowen is
You
used to the wing.
understand?
Foden is not used to. Foden from Man City doesn't.
Like I got
Hot,
confused
don't
in
get me
some
wrong.
of
He
the
goes.
games.
He
I
comes
was
from the wing
seeing
sometimes
Jude
in Man
on the
City, but
left wing, and I'm like,
his
what
basic role
is
is not the
he
wing.
really doing there?
His basic role for City is not on the wing. It's through the middle. So why then would you not be playing him on the wings for England? Doesn't make any sense. When you have
At least
Gordon, you have
he tried. He set the bars high, so he took them to the finals.
Yeah. For for me, I'm
he had
happy
to
that
he had
he
to leave
left,
because I mean
but not for the same
it's
reasons
obvious.
that you guys are talking about. I'm happy that he left. He left because of I think he had to leave for his mental health because the insult was becoming too much.
Okay,
And
The
also
pressure
I
was
think
congrats,
it's a
now.
becoming too much. The
mental
media against him, the
it's
fans are
also a
against him, they're
mental block.
insulting him a lot. But the thing is, at the end of the day, if you're doing something like it's about cup competitions, the same way. Let's
Mhm.
bring in Man United this time now. All these guys insulting us now. Eric Ten Hag is a cup manager. He focuses a lot on the cups. He's always saying England is about cups, so it's about focusing on cups. Poch, when he went to Chelsea as well, focusing on cups, saying, "Oh, I've been to Wembley 3 times in 2 years or whatever, in 18 months or whatever he said." But he's getting to semi-finals, getting to finals of competitions. Like if you keep getting there, maybe one day you get to the final. But
He
maybe
made the
you
same
guys are
mistakes
right. I
now.
also agree that it doesn't have the X factor. It does not play.
Yeah,
It
he
does.
made
It's
the
not
same mistake he
expansive
made
enough. It's not a
he
risk
made
taker.
4 years
He's
Yeah,
ago,
just very
3 years
very
ago. Same
cautious.
mistake he made against this final. He
But
didn't learn. That
I
tells you he
think
didn't
I
learn.
think that is,
Same mistake he made.
I think I think his favoritism
yeah.
basically killed him. But anyways,
He
that's
made,
that for
he made the
England. RIP Southgate,
same mistake.
whoever. Just a quick one. If you guys are to hire a new, if you guys, let's say you guys are working with the FA and you have to hire a new English manager, who is it going to be? Is it Eddie Howe,
No way.
Frank Lampard, Stevie Gerrard? Is it Will Earn, the
Eddie
Ghent
Howe,
guy?
just
Who
from
are you
that
guys
list,
going to
Eddie Howe
hire
is the most
from English? Graham Potter as well.
Eddie Howe is the most
Who are you guys
competent
going
out
to
of the
pick?
whole list you just mentioned. I know Potter kind of, but Eddie Howe is the most competent. Because first of all, I don't think I want to give it to a non-English,
And the
to a
house
non.
sounds better with what with
I
the
wouldn't
pro.
want to give it to a non-English coach. I know they mentioned Pochettino, they mentioned Tuchel, every mention they link club with it, but left to me, I wouldn't want to give it to a non-English coach.
No,
So Eddie
no.
Howe
If
to
they
me
if they
is
actually give it to Posh, Posh is
yeah,
not
but
bad.
that's what I'm saying. I wouldn't want to give it to a
Posh can
non-English coach.
probably
That's just
play
me.
them, but winning a trophy
I
is
even
the
heard that
question,
they're
right?
even waiting for
I think
they're waiting for Pep.
Yeah. So from that list, who are you going to call? Yeah. Who are you going
I
to
even
hire?
heard
Michael
Pep
no,
Carrick.
Pep is their dream.
no. I don't know.
That flop.
I don't
I
know
know
if
whether
Pep
it's
Gary
an
nah,
Neville.
happen.
no, that's the one.
Because he could
They'll probably sack him by the end of the year.
because he couldn't coach now
He
his
will have
hand.
to decide. I think more of Eddie Howe or Pochettino would be a good bet, but the problem with Poch is when it matters, right? Poch is not Poch is not
So you
that
are
kind
willing
of
to go
coach that will
non-English
count
then
on
that's what
when
you're
it
saying.
matters. So it's almost like going back to this thing. No, I'm willing to go non-English. I would rather give it to Mourinho. I know that they are out for the cup. They win the cup. That's what the Mourinho will prepare for.
Yeah, Bob, we know Mourinho is going to stay
Yeah,
in
he's not
Fenerbahce.
coming
It's
out.
not
I mean
leaving. He's always
he has
committed
barely
to the
Just
club
saying.
he
started. How will
signed
he
So
for.
leave?
that's
Yeah.
fine. So me, I think Eddie Howe might actually make them more attacking.
He's the best. Like in terms of
That's where
CV,
I'm looking
English
at the
coaches,
angle
right?
from.
He's the best.
So with that attacking, it will make more sense to see them play.
But what makes him the best is not won anything either. If you
No, no, he
if you're
won. Now he
saying
won with
Gareth Southgate is the guy that
no, he
before
has
the
won, but
guy,
like lower
Eddie Howe has
division
also not
trophies
won
though. That's why
anything.
with Bournemouth he won. But like but I see trophies though. Those are still they
Please, please,
count. They're
please,
still
please, please.
trophies.
We're not counting those ones.
He won Man U.
Yeah, yeah. Roy Keane won
With
championship
Sunderland,
with
he didn't win
Sunderland. Are you
championship.
going
He
to
didn't
take
win
him in your club?
championship with Sunderland. He
That's
didn't win.
that's
Uh-huh.
why that's
He won
why
the
they
he won
gave
the
what's his
championship.
name now,
Like
the Bayern Munich
Company.
coach, company. He qualified
No, no,
Burnley.
you can't. The reason
company.
why
He won the
company
championship
is
with
just
Burnley. That he
is
gave
pep
him
tax. We
Bayern
all know
Munich.
that it's pep tax.
Right.
If company came out from somebody else, he wouldn't get that. But it's pep tax.
Hmm.
That's just the truth. Like one pep hypes you up. One pep hypes you up. You are good.
Uh,
Pep is the best hype man.
I think they're probably trying to save on money
No,
for a
what do you
season.
mean?
That's
What do you mean
that's my
save
own
what?
thought.
They're still paying, I
They
heard
just don't
salary
want
is
to
the
go
same
too
equal
far.
to what they were paying. What's his name? The guy that
It's an opportunity for Dortmund
Bishop.
to win the league and win
I
everything.
heard his salary is almost equal
They're
to
smart enough.
Tuchel's. It's not about the money. Bayern can
we'll
afford it.
see.
I think it's just the Pep hype. That's it.
All right, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens when the season starts with company and all those things. Let's move away from Europe now to Copa America because there's another tournament that was in line with Copa America. I didn't watch it a lot, but
Yeah.
I know that Johnny-Boy, you were watching it. So, what was your take on the
Nah, I wanted
final?
Colombia to win. In as much as I like Messi, but I wanted Colombia just for to me. Colombia was the best, most entertaining, most like in terms of their even their fans. Oh my God, so lively and everything. But then, unfortunately for Colombia, what
Are you sure the fans or
stupidity
the
caused them because they played so well, and it's so mad. That's one thing about football, which I like it and I hate it, is that once you're on top, try and make use of your chances, because once you keep on missing your chances, the other team is likely to. If I once I'm watching football and I see that the team is missing too many chances, there's a high chance they will either draw that game or lose it. Because what happened in that final was like Colombia had good chances they were missing, and Argentina just had one or two, and it was a defensive error from Colombia. They didn't maintain their high line. This thing.
Well, as
Yeah, so
Sheunte, we
into
always say,
I don't
every
have to.
goal there's a
They
defensive
lost. They
mistake.
lost
So
concentration, and Argentina had just one brilliant pass from Di Maria again. Just split their defense, and Martinez was true, scored, and that was it. But in fairness, just like with Spain, I think the best team also
right.
won Copa America, because I think also okay they drew against Ecuador, but apart from that they were like the
Okay.
best team in.
they won all their
Apart from
matches?
Ecuador, they drew Ecuador. They had to win on penalties.
Yeah.
So
Right, and when they won, we've seen as well going around social media, Enzo Fernandez recording himself and the team on the bus. That has created an outrage on social media. Even people like Fofana are coming out to speak about the chant. You've also had other players as well that have been racially abused since they came out to make their comments. Enzo Fernandez made an apology. So what do you guys have to say about this, the chants, the apology, and people's reaction? Let's start with
I don't know about you, but I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't see it as racism. That's what they're targeting, but I don't see it as racism. That's just to me, because apparently there's actually a song. There's a
but why
song,
why why don't you see it as racism?
because I
Yes,
mean
why
they're
don't you
just
see it
saying
as
what they're
racism?
saying is it a lie? It's not a lie. Most French players they're mostly from Africa, so what they're saying is just saying the plain truth.
So which is the
What they're
truth?
saying is just the plain truth. Like they're literally stating the obvious. Like the French
Okay.
team, more than half of their teams, they're Africans. Like literally all Africans. So they're not like, and also I think there's a video. I think it was Germany mocking. I mean, it was France mocking somebody else similar. Wasn't
I think it's South Korea or
no, no,
something
no.
like
That
that.
was that
So
was just
French
player.
Asian team.
Let's not go
Yeah,
what
to
about.
me it was
Just
not. It
focus
was
on
to
this
me it
one.
wasn't racism. That's just me. It wasn't. I didn't see it as racism because it was like them just stating the obvious. And, and to me, it's a little bit too back and forth. It's like a rivalry
Okay,
that is brewing up. That's why
fair
it
enough.
seemed blew out of proportion, because I see it as a rivalry going up now between Argentina and France.
Okay, and Jude, do you share the same
I do share the
sentiment?
same sentiment. I just feel like for me it doesn't look like racism a bit, right? Like I always tell people that forget the
Yeah,
wokeness, like the
it's called,
old
yeah,
before the
it's true.
wokeness came. The way you see racism is like when somebody is angry, mad at you, or with malice intent shown and saying those words, then you know. But when somebody say, "Oh, you're black and you're from Nigeria or Africa," it doesn't have to call with racism. But when they make an action based on that, then you
Yeah,
cannot justify it to be racism. I feel it's more of a banter, but I think the people driving the message, he made some statements about Mbappe, and I think those people are the people
yeah, it's
driving the
because it's
message.
true, and it's not from today. See, your father is
They said
Cameroonian,
Mbappe is like having sex. No, he said not Cameroon. He said Mbappe is having.
sex with a man.
Is it? No, not like
Yeah, there was
transgender.
a,
Yeah.
it's a room. It's
So
out there now, but
anything
but they're
you
not
do
lying though.
towards
There's
those
there are
people,
rumors have been there
backlash.
out for like two
Is
years
that
now that
but then it will now feel like that one now seems more like a hate to that group, right? And that group can switch up the propaganda now and still tag it under. You understand
Mm,
that kind of stuff? They will tag it under. You know how the whole media
true.
takes it up. So they will tag it up that you're against the wokeness, right? And they will bring the whole class. Okay, let's find more people to join us. They create the racism clause. So now the black people or the people of color will now feel offended. And then now we have the transgender and the LG, the plus people joining the stuff. So I feel like if it was just not that statement, it was just that, it'll probably just be they'll make racism a little bit and then it's gone. I just feel it's probably
And
another
I think
agenda
that
behind
added
it.
fuel to this thing is because of the rumors.
Right.
You know, Argentina. There's rumor that they killed all the black guys in Argentina. I don't know if it's rumor, but it happened. I think it happened. Like, if you notice, they're the
It's
only
happened.
South
It's real
American team
life.
that doesn't have one black player. So I think that also adds the fuel to the whole racism stuff because every other South American team has at least one black player in their team. One, at least one. But
Yep.
Argentina, everybody there is pure white, like purely white. So that also adds fuel.
But you can't blame them. They don't have that much
That's
blacks, right? The
even that's what I'm
percentage of
saying. Even
blacks
the
is very,
country
very
itself.
low because
That's the point I'm trying to make because
that's what I'm saying now. You can't blame them for what. Okay, now my ancestors sold people to slavery. I would you come and be blaming me for what happened then?
no,
You
what I'm saying
understand?
is
You
that it
can't
was a drive
hold
by the
that back. But
Argentine government.
people
That's
are
what I'm trying to
finding
tell
that
you.
angle to hold in.
There's a story out there that the Argentine government, I think it was in the 80s, the 1800s, something like,
No, no,
they
it's been
cleared
there.
out,
It's
they
been like
killed all the
it
blacks
was a part
in
of
this thing.
slavery, and then at some point
Yeah,
they killed
so
all the blacks. Most
that
of them
also
had to run
adds,
into Brazil and all those other
so that
countries
adds
around.
to it as well too.
So it's that could also add to it, but I feel
Because
like
now
if it was just a
they also
black
started bringing
sentiment, they'll
up that
probably
story.
die it
That's why I
down.
knew about it. That story started coming up. The whole killing of blacks in Argentina.
The story has been there since now.
So
Right. So yeah, here is my
mm,
take. My take is a bit nuanced and layered, so please bear with me. Okay. First things first, is the are the players wrong for singing the song? I don't know. Is the song racist, the chant racist? Personally, to me, I would say no. However, I understand those that say that it is racist, and I'm going to explain why I understand. First things first, if you break down the songs, if you take away all of the other truth or fact or nothing, right? Right, the essence of the song is basically saying the black French player should go back to Africa. That is it. That is the essence of it. So whether you think it's racist or not, that is the essence of the song. So when someone like Fofana is saying it's racist, he knows what he's talking about because he's from France. I'm sure he's probably heard all his life, go back to Africa, go back to Africa, go back to Africa. At the end of the day, racism is
mm,
hate, and hate is a feeling. You can't tell people how
true,
to feel when they receive hatred. So saying that is the truth. Yes, it might be true. Their parents are African, but they are not. So denying them their
true.
identity is an insult, right? So even if you don't want to say it's racist, it's insulting and basically trying to remove their identity. And as Africans, we can take that back to colonial era when they're saying, "Oh, what you guys believe is not the right thing. You guys are barbaric," all of that stuff. So to hear someone say and to hear a player deny someone else's identity, whether for banter or not, I always say a racist joke
That's
is
true.
fun, but it's still a racist joke. You can be saying the truth, but at the same time, it's still insulting and offensive. So whether they meant it or not, they have done a racist thing, and they know better. Because a lot of these players, they will come back to their clubs and start fun and start doing all the ads and wearing the things, no to racism, no to all of these things. So I'm sure they've taken training. They understand what they're doing, whether it's for banter or
But
not.
why is it? Why? But my question is why?
It's still wrong. And I
Okay.
also believe, and just bear with me, just bear with me as well. 1 second, please. And I also believe that a lot of Africans or a lot of black people that are still in their continent, so black people in Caribbean, black people still in Africa, they don't really
Yeah,
understand
true, true.
Mm,
racism in detail.
I was,
Like Jude mentioned earlier, that it's not big,
At
it's not
all.
grand, but racism doesn't have to be big to be grand because it's feeling. I feel how
I've
can
seen
I
it
prove
times
to
times and
you?
number over
How
here.
can I prove to others that this person hates me when other people are saying that hatred as a fact?
I've gotten on the
So
bus
but
and they
but
still
yeah,
there.
but
that's
Stuff
that's
like
what
but
I
I
that.
have to say
think
about that.
I
But yeah,
think I
God.
think I think what I was while you were talking about this, right? I got a different perspective. You're right, right? We didn't actually look at it from those players, the French players, right? Because we are Africans, right?
Hmm.
When they make those statements, we are. It's just like one time in the podcast when we said we are happy because, like the mix of black people in the French team and other stuff, we are happy because it more of makes us look
Yes,
like, oh, we are the French people, we are the France team. It paints us bigger,
yes,
right?
And it means you are the
So
best. As in, that's
now
what I see
yes,
it
looking
as.
at this
We are the
picture
best.
now,
That's what I say about
telling them
Germany.
that,
We're
oh,
the
this
best.
person is from Africa. We didn't look at it from the players, the French players' perspective. We looked at it from our own perspective, like, oh, it's actually associating and saying the French team took our players, they took Africa. So we are proud. So we
mm-hmm.
probably didn't see it there. But now
Mm-hmm.
coming to that angle where you said, oh, these people are born here, and now it makes them feel like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, they are not wanted yet. That's a different angle that I'm also now seeing now, which makes more sense to
Yes,
me because it's more like the hate is
yes,
felt within. That's why I said racism to me, like I can call you Nick, right? My Nick, right? Let me use the
mm-hmm.
word, sorry, the N word. But that's me
Mm-hmm.
hailing you and I'm smiling. But when I'm frowning and I
Mm-hmm.
said, you shit,
Mm-hmm.
Nick, right? Like that's me using
Mm-hmm.
it as a cuss word, as a big word, growing up, right? So it's more like
Yeah.
whether you
Mm-hmm.
feel the hate or you don't feel the hate, right? It's you feeling the hate that will
Mm-hmm.
now say, oh, I'm hot. You understand? It's not
Yes.
me or whoever is
Yeah.
outside that determines what
Yes.
happened. So I think that's where
Exactly.
the
Yeah. That's why I
racism
said.
But I
That's
have
why.
a quick question though.
Yeah. That's why I said. For me personally, I would say whatever is. It's yeah. It's not racist. But from looking at it from the French players' perspective, you're basically denying their identity. You're basically telling them go back to Africa. You don't deserve to be French. Basically, you don't
But my
deserve to be
question is that
French. That's what the song
I
is
don't know
about
whether you
for
guys have
me. But
noticed
yeah,
it,
that's why
but
I
the major
understand.
person catching the
Yeah.
most flag is Enzo Fernandez. Why is that? Other like this guy, what's his name? McAllister has
because
a,
No,
I
because he's
understand,
the
but
one.
other
He's
he's
the
the
one
one
that
other
recording
recorded
players were
himself,
singing
himself.
and
though.
He's the one that
Singing.
recorded himself
he's
and the
also
team.
he's also a big player.
Yeah, but none of them,
None of
not
them
they
were
were, they were not
were
stupid
were
not to record themselves.
visual enough in the video. He was the one recording. The other ones
Yeah,
were the people that were close to him. I think they were backing the video or something, singing. So to be like it,
exactly. Most of them didn't want to
I
show their
heard
face
something
in the
about
video.
Premier League clubs are trying to detect their own players to protect PR so that it doesn't affect them. That
I
was
even
what I
heard they
was
want to
reading.
suspend them. I suspend him for
It's
12 games. I'm like,
possible. I
what do
won't
you
be
mean?
surprised because most
Why are
of
you
those players are
suspending him?
assets to the club. But at the same time, like I said, they will all come back to their various clubs now. If say no to racism, respect each other. Is that respect if you're basically disrespecting your teammates? Because
Yeah, I
Fofana
followed him
was
on
angry.
Instagram.
Fofana
That's
is
what I
a
heard.
teammate to Enzo Fernandez. How are they going to have a good working environment if I've seen you, my
The coach has
teammates,
a big
But
that coach has
basically
a big job on his
disrespecting
hands
me
but
though.
and denying my identity?
I
But
think also
anyway,
right, giving the Argentines that leeway, I think they probably need to some of these players like the word racism, like you said, is a whole big entity from different angles. So I
yes,
think giving him that
yes.
leeway and also probably doing some maybe a PR
Yeah, one I
or
think they say Chelsea.
education reorientation,
Once again, I'm
I even
sure
heard
they're
Chelsea's
educated. He
first
plays for
black
but they are
Chelsea
Chelsea's
not
Football
first
Club.
black
educated
player said
enough.
he's going to
They are
I'm
not
education
sure
now.
they're
educated
educated
enough
in England.
to know what you understand.
They're
It's just like
educated in.
let me.
So no, I don't want to give them.
No, I'm
I don't
not
want to.
giving
No,
them.
I don't
I
want to
Exactly.
give
said
them that leeway. They're
they are
educated
supposed to
enough. They are not. They're not
that
empathetic
Go
enough.
club and
I'm
go
sure
club
they've
and
gone
the
for
FIFA would have
for
done it too.
racism training. I'm sure they tell them they work with. Exactly. They would have done some training. They just don't have the empathy. They just think, oh, yeah, the fans are saying it, Africans are saying it, these people are saying it. So, yeah, let's just say it as well. At least have some empathy. Think just imagine. And again, some of these players,
Most
Argentinian
it's
players, they
not
have
all of
European.
them.
Yeah,
passports as well. So how would they feel if someone is saying
I get
denying
German,
you.
them
Europeans
that
now.
that side
Germans,
of their
Italians,
life? It's just, anyways.
French.
No,
Sorry to go all serious, but sometimes
yeah,
it's good to have all this conversation, audience. So please bear with us, because as an African, we have to break it down. Sorry, not sorry, but this conversation has to be had because it's what happened in the football world this week. And at ROP, that's what we do. If you're educated, fantastic. If you disagree, also fantastic. You're your own person. You're entitled to your opinion. But at the same time, we just have to give the information out there. And, some people will learn, some people might be empathetic, some people might not. But at the end of the day, Spain won the
Fun fact,
Euros,
fun fact,
Argentina won the Euros.
fun fact,
Johnny-Boy is happy
I
with
think
Spain and Argentina. Me
fun
and
fact
Jude don't
though.
really care who won, really, to be honest. Do you,
I don't
Jude?
A
care.
fun
Nah,
fact.
we don't
Can you
care.
guess?
We're looking
I
for
just would have cared if England had won,
Fun fact.
but
Can you
I'm
guess
glad.
who
I'm
is
glad.
now all-time leader for Euros one?
You
Who is
have
the
to Spain
all-time
now.
leader? Like what country has won the Euros the most?
Most likely Spain.
Spain.
Uzbekistan. What are you talking about?
Don't
You just
mind
want
me.
me to say it. I'm not saying it. All right. On that note, thank you very much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, please press the like button. And if you also did not, still press the like
Share,
button.
share.
Subscribe if you're new. Leave your comments, your thoughts on what we've talked about so far. The player of the tournament, of the Euros, the player of the match of the final, your thoughts on the Enzo Fernandez chant, and so much more. Until the next episode, stay safe
Yes.
and enjoy football.
La
See you in
Fula
the next
Roja.
episode.
La
See you
Fula
next week.
Roja.